so good to be back on the black carpet. Oh, I miss my baby. Oh my goodness. Today on the black carpet, we go live into the bubble with NBA TV producer Jonathan Scott. We also talk a lot of Heat talk with Jax from the Miami Heat, the host of the Miami Heat, Jason Jackson. And of course, a whole lot to talk about with my beautiful host right here from Miami, Albie. What's going on, girl? It's been a long time. Quarantine's been killing us. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, holding in, hanging in there actually. I tore my other Achilles. I don't know if you heard.
What?
So now I have no legs instead of one. But other than that, life is great.
Last time we were doing this, you messed up I believe it was your left leg, and you're telling me you tore the other Achilles?
Yes. I went into playing basketball too early. I wasn't ready. I overcompensated the other one, so
Oh,
I didn't learn clearly.
so maybe God had to tell you what he had to tell the other one. Even the late Kobe, rest in peace, and Kevin Durant are like, nah, they don't even want that smoke. Two Achilles? Wow, man. Well, hey, you got a whole bunch of time to do the black carpet, so I guess that's what we'll be doing, right?
Right? Yep.
Oh, amazing. There's so much to talk about. You know that we bring the culture and the sports together here on the show, and sports is starting to pop up again. It's starting to really, really take our attention again. This quarantine probably killed us, probably killed you. Obviously, for me as a DJ, no work, you know, just been trying to figure out other to get at. We had a couple virtual parties here and there, but not the real thing. You know, I mean, you like to go outside, you like to go to the beach, you like to go on boats, and I know that you stuck inside. That's probably why you overcompensated and played basketball because you couldn't do the regular things that you could do. But I digress. But still, we're very happy that sports is back. A lot's been going on, especially over the weekend. And, we find the stories that kind of bring culture and sports together. And one of the more important stories that I saw over the past weekend was, of course, at the U.S. Open. And I am very impressed with Naomi Osaka. Like, I'm becoming a big, big fan. No lie. Not only is she dope on the court, like, she looks like the second coming of possibly Serena or Venus or one of these elite tennis players, but the way she carries herself, her demeanor, how she eloquently says why she's doing what she's doing, understanding her moment and her spotlight and her platform, and understanding she's not trying to say that this is going to take the pain away from the parents, but she knows what she's doing in terms of like putting on the mask with Philando Castile or Jacob Blake or these people that have been brutally murdered to police brutality. And I just love that when she's even challenged by questions, she's able to maneuver it and have you think. I remember I think Tom Rinaldi asked her, what is her message and what is she trying to get out to the world by obviously wearing the mask and speaking up about social injustice. And she actually posed a question to him and said, my message is, what is it that you want? What is it that you got out of my message? That's what it's all about. It's not about what my message is. What is it that you understand from my message? And to challenge us to have conversations, to challenge us to not just look at her as a athlete and a great superstar tennis player, but to say, hey man, there are these injustices going on out there, and I believe that this new young generation today is really tapping into their ancestry. Like she said, like she plays to their ancestors. Like she said, she knows that she can play great because her ancestors' blood flows through her veins, and I'm just very impressed by what she stands for and the fact that she's just winning. Obviously, she just won the U.S. Open, and that was amazing. What are your thoughts on Naomi? Just a little.
I think she's a great role model for little girls and women in general, not just athletes. She's very focused and determined in the fact that she wore the Kobe jersey, and she was like, this is what he would want. Like, I just want to be as great as he knew I could be, and hopefully one day I could be that great. That means she's determined, and you know, she has a high standard of who she is as an athlete, and I think that's pretty dope.
Dope. So what was one of the dope things that you saw this weekend? You know, from
Oh,
your point?
so the Memphis Grizzlies hired their second female assistant coach Friday.
Okay.
Now, they had one last year. Her name was Nail Ivy. I'm not sure why they let her go, but we have a new assistant coach, Sonia Rahman. She's Indian, and I'm excited to see how she interacts with, you know, being a coach for the men's league, which is completely different from when she was an MIT coach. So that should be interesting.
Okay. What do you think are the challenges? I mean, I know you've been in locker rooms as a broadcaster yourself, and you've been in this male-dominated industry. So I know you've done it from the broadcasting aspect, so you know it from there. But how do you think, as a coach now, with X's and O's and having to know these players, how do you think female coaches adapt? And if you were in that position, how do you think you would adapt to that now culture of men?
I think coming from being a women's basketball college coach and then going into the NBA in itself is totally different. Just the way to maneuver, the arena, the fans, the backlash, and even like having the players have to listen to her. I don't know. It might be challenging, but we'll see.
So shout out to her, and I hope that she has continued success over at Memphis. Weren't you like interning with Memphis a little bit? Didn't you have like some of their gear? Didn't you fly out for like a summer league? You know, you got some love.
We had a couple conversations about potentially working with them, but it didn't fall through. But I did get some nice gear.
Biggies.
I did get to go to summer league last year, so I got my perks.
Some love for Memphis. I know you got some love for Memphis, man. Speaking of love, there's an amazing story about love that I wanted to share with everyone on the black carpet. I got a big shout out to my boy Miles Boykins, man. Miles Boykins recently, if you didn't, you can go on his Instagram. We're showing it right now. That he actually got his mom to be the cover athlete of Madden 21. I thought that was so dope. The story kind of goes that he tells her in a letter, in a post, and obviously she got the box and the gift. But in the post, I'm gonna break it down a little bit. He's pretty much saying, "Mom, you bought my subscription to Xbox, to my gaming system all my life. You bought all of my games. You've pretty much supported me in my," he said, his two greatest loves, which was football and gaming. And he felt nothing but joy to have him team up with EA, to have her be the first female cover on Madden. So I thought that was so. And you should have seen her. She was obviously she was in tears. She's in tears. She's crying. She loved it. And I mean, I don't. If my mom bought some of my games, I'm sure if I made her the cover athlete, she would love me for life. So big shout out to Miles Boykins. What if your kid? I know how much you love sports. I know you love the NBA. What if you had a son have you be on NBA 2K or on your favorite sports game?
My dream growing up was to be the first female basketball player in the NBA. So never mind being on the cover. And I'm a gamer, so I would fall out like crying. Like, I don't even know how I would react. I really don't. But that would be dope. It's very thoughtful of him to do that. And he also provided, gifts for everyone else who lived in the house. So I thought that was pretty dope.
Oh, see, everybody went like, "Oh,
you gotta support who supported you."
No, 100%. And I mean, these are some of the small.
So when I have a son,
mm-hmm.
When I have a son, I'm gonna save this article and show him. Be like, listen, if you ever go to the league, I would love to be in front of the NBA. I want everyone to see.
Oh, you one of those moms that's gonna put pressure on you. Said, "I want to be a cover athlete, damn it."
because we never know. I might already be a voice as a sideliner in there. I just want to be on front of the cover also, you know?
I see pressure. I see you putting a lot of pressure on your son. I think that's what it is. I don't know about that. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna talk to him.
Whatever sport he or she decides. I
But
just want to be
I agree. Big shout out to Miles Boykins and what he's doing
yes.
with his mom.
Yeah, I'm about to. Thank you, Morgan. I got it. How's it going, man?
It's great, man. We just started Albie. Albie, this is Jonathan, my cousin. I'm not sure.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Albie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
I see you getting some work done. I love it.
Yeah, we
You're
are
doing amazing.
Thank you. It's good to match the face with the pictures. Good to see you.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is like amazing. Exactly what you're doing right now. Obviously, we want to depict and get the behind the scenes of a lot of the things that we don't get to see. You know, I know NDAs a lot, but anything that you can show us, and obviously any conversation that you would have with. Look at that behind the bubble right now. Jonathan is entering, I believe, one of the practices right now.
Yeah, well, the practice is closed. I'm about to just walking. They're doing the jump for ESPN, so I'm about to just creep in real quick.
Okay, so you're just gonna see if you could creep in right now, see what's going on. So right now we're on the black carpet with Jonathan Scott as he's live looking at the bubble. As you can see, this is the court. This is which court is this, John?
What the finals is going to be.
Oh, this is the finals. Okay, this is the finals. Okay. Beautiful. So the media section is literally to the right of where you were panning, right? To the.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's down on that side over there.
Okay.
And yeah, man, that's where we sit and we watch the games. Got a great courtside view. Pretty cool.
Pretty dope, man. Pretty dope, bro. So, man, I just want to say, we just want to say thank you so much for coming onto the black carpet. I know you're busy. I know you're at work literally right now, so we won't take too much of your time. But
Good.
I know this, but literally the people are seeing you live at work, so we just want to say thank you so much. So first of all, you know me. I didn't want to tell people this, but obviously we're family. You're my cousin. We grew up together, South Florida, all day, 305. And so obviously I know your work, and I'm obviously so proud of you. But I just wanted you to talk about some of your productions that you're doing for NBA TV and behind the scenes there for TNT, especially for some of those clips that we see, like the Defensive Player of the Year when Giannis accepts that, or these little bits when Damian Lillard is being interviewed. What is behind the scenes of doing that feel like, and what goes into that particular work, bro?
Yeah, I've been working with Turner Sports for 10 years. So that's TNT, that's NBA TV, that's all the platforms that Turner has. CNN falls into that as well, so I get to do sometimes touch a little bit of news. But right now my assignment is the bubble. So I'm here in the bubble, and it's been pretty cool, man. I'm when I first got here June 28th, I was one of 4 people, 2 reporters and 2 producers, one from Turner, one from ESPN, and I was the producer for Turner. And we were like first on the ground, just kind of getting a lay of the land, able to see how everything came together, and just trying to document that. And it's been a really cool journey, man. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of the pieces that run on TNT and NBA TV that goes through my department, because I'm in the green, I have access to the players. So all the requests that come in, I'm able to shoot those guys. And it's been a lot of fun, man. Working with Chris Haynes a lot. He has a lot of access. He's a Yahoo Sports reporter. And the players just gravitate right towards him. So, me being there with the camera, I get to benefit from that access. And it's been a lot of fun.
Who was your favorite player to interview and work with? Because I know they all have crazy. Lillard?
Yeah, Lillard was cool, mostly because Lillard actually came and kicked it with us. Like, we were able to spend time and hang out with him and get to know him as a person outside of, shooting with him. He's super down to earth, super chill, the same guy you see, on the court, that assassin, that killer. It's different to see him in real life, because he's, super relaxed and just a real down to earth person. So Lillard was definitely cool. Giannis, when we did the Defensive Player of the Year with him, that was good because he got emotional. And you could tell it meant a lot to him, to receive that award. So he's definitely a cool person as well.
All right, dope. That Jonathan's down there in the bubble, live in the bubble, as we can see, and also taking time for the black carpet. Again, we want to say so much. We want to say thank you. So moving forward, from behind the scenes, I know we're almost at the end of the bubble, but if you can take us back to the beginning when you got there. Obviously, we see you still have the mask on, and we saw that you have your bubble piece. What were some of the security things that you had to go through, and probably some of those uncomfortable moments when you first got to the bubble? What was that like behind the scenes, whether it's testing and that particular kind of procedure?
It all came together real quickly. Like I had to drive down from Atlanta straight down. I asked if I should take a test before I got down here. They said it doesn't matter because if you fail, as you get to the site, you take a test. It's a quick turnaround test. Like it's not some of the tests that I've heard about on the news where you have to wait 8 days or 11 days for your results within 8 hours. And it was good to see you, brother. Good to see you, sir. It's a nose swab test. It's not the swab. Thank God. It was like the one just right around the rim nose, and they also swab as well. That's every day. When I wake up before I leave my room, I have to take a oximeter to oxygen pulse. I have to take a pulse check. I have to do another temperature check, and that's before you leave your room. And that's connected to this Magic Band. It's like an app.
Oh.
So everything is connected through an app, and that lets the NBA know that we're healthy, or lets them know if we have symptoms. I have to scan in everywhere I go. So as I come into the building, I have to scan in. As I leave the building, I have to scan in because, my COVID test results could come at any time. And if I test positive, they need to isolate me quickly. And they can also track to see how many people I've been around. I used to wear it on my wrist, but it kept falling off. So I keep it on my credential. But yeah, they have a very intricate system set up here. They thought about everything. It's state of the art. And I think that's a testament to why, there's been 0 positive results so far.
Dope. Big shout out to Chris Paul and those guys that put that stuff together, huh?
For sure.
Definitely.
So how has mental health been in the bubble? Like, is anyone breaking down every day? Like, what's going on with that?
That's a really good question. I talked to some of the crew guys who told me they've had a rough time, just being away from their families. The days are kind of like Groundhog Days, if that makes sense. When it first started, it was 22 teams. So just imagine 22 teams all in one location. And all the games were happening in 3 locations. So in like a regular NBA season, every city spread out, of course. So West Coast games, East Coast games, they're all over the place. But here, you could literally go from one game to the next game to the next game, just walking distance. And when you're working that, and you're working it every day, it could be taxing. For me, I've had definitely times where I'm like, oh, this is exhausting, but I keep the big picture in mind, realizing that I'm part of history. Mm-hmm. There's so many people that would love to trade places with me, talking to my cousin Chris. He's definitely like, yo, what's going on? What are you doing? Just having access to like my favorite team, the Miami Heat, and being around all these teams. And that helps me shift my mentality when I start to get like, oh, this is, day 79 or whatever the case. Just a shift in my mental, knowing that, dude, this is a part of history. This will never happen again. To be living with all these guys in one place is super cool. So that just helps me reverse my thinking when I have those moments.
Hey, power of the mind, huh? Power of the mind. So
Sorry, sir.
You see, Albie, it could definitely get to you. So shifting to the Heat now. And I know seeing the Heat in the Eastern Conference Final, obviously, you love to see that, and that probably gives you a little joy outside of obviously the work that you're doing. What are your takes? I don't want you to pick them because obviously you work for the network and so on and so forth. But what do you feel about being around the team? Obviously, covering their practices and seeing them up close. Is the Jimmy Butler effect real? Is Tyler Hero the real deal up close? What do the Heat look like, and what do you think about them?
So let me tell you, when the teams first arrived, like we were here like 2 weeks before the teams got here. So when the teams first arrived, of course, I gravitated towards the Heat. And I introduced myself to all the guys and found connections with some. There's some guys who were killing in high school, so you have that connection where you're like, yo, that's crazy. Like, I'm really from Miami. So cool to be around.
Ah,
It's all about, jogs in the morning. And Coach Spo's always on that track every morning. He's on the track. Shirt that says Coach. So that from the top all the way down, you'll see Pat Riley sitting right up there. He's in the yellow zone. Like the green zone, people can sit down here.
okay.
Yellow zone has to be up top.
Okay.
So Pat is always up there. You always see Jimmy Butler will walk through the tunnel here and look up top and wave to Pat Riley, because it's all about that culture. It's contagious, man. It really is. You can see it when, I'm really close to the game, so I'm able to watch it. You can see Jay Crowder when they're playing the Bucks. You can see it in his eyes, like he had that pit bull mentality, like we're gonna take this thing. And Jimmy Butler is definitely a big part of that. See Duncan Robinson, see it in Hero. Like guys have confidence. They got that cocky swagger, but never taking anything for granted. It's always next game. 8 more games to go, 7 now. So. Yeah, man, it's great to be around.
Definitely like the Heat are doing well, man. Albie, what you got for him?
So you were talking a little bit about the arena, and I realized that there's 2 new cameras, the rail cam and then there's a free throw cam. Can you explain what the rail cam is?
Oh, all right. This is the rail cam.
There it is.
And that's the cam that almost killed Luka. I don't know if you saw that footage of Luka that was playing early on, but no, it's a really good camera. It's operated by an operator who sits up top somewhere up there.
Okay.
And it's a whole team of guys that operate and just slides up and down this railing, follows the guys. And it's a pretty cool setup they got. It's definitely changed the game as far as the viewing. Like I'm usually at the game, so I don't get to see it. But if I don't watch like a replay, I'll see how it's used, and I get to I'm watching it live, so I see it sliding up and down. But to watch the actual footage and see how smooth it is and how it follows the players up and down, it's a really cool look.
And she said the free throw camera also, or
Yeah.
Free throw cameras. You're talking about the one that's up on the like the one that's above the backboard?
Yeah, that's new too, I think. No?
Yeah. So they got like a bird's eye type free throw cam. It's pretty cool. Let me
Ready?
see if I can pull it up. Oh yeah. Sorry, that's Richard Jefferson. I'm trying not to get in his conversation.
what's up, Richard?
They just finished doing the jump.
So Richard, what's up? The black carpet now.
So that's the cam you might be talking about there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of them. They also have these other cams that are kind of cool, like right here on the side of the court.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought this would hit the players' heads, but it's so far back. Because it's pretty low. Because look how low it is compared to the rim. But it's not. It's high enough where they clear it. And then this is where you usually see like Tyler Hero giving his post-game interview, and then the guys come behind him. And so they're looking at a monitor right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Cameras right there. Everything is social distance. Everything is like reporter free. If you notice, everybody like 6 feet away when they're doing their interviews.
Yeah.
So it's so it's a whole new world, man. They thought of everything as far as just the distance, and you even see the benches. Everything is set up, so it's really cool, man. Really cool.
And this is a live look behind the scenes at the Bubble with NBA producer Jonathan Scott. Thank you again for being on the black carpet, brother. Oh, just another thing. What's some of the technology that you think moving forward when we get back to fans, and obviously you get back in the studio, that you guys will be using, learning from this experience? What is some of the technology you found yourself very intrigued about?
Well, hopefully, if COVID still remains, they're going to have to figure out ways to keep people distance. And like on our set, inside the NBA, the show I work on, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny, and EJ, their set has become so much bigger as far as the distance they sit away from each other. So I think it's going to be more of that. I think it's going to be more remote working, unfortunately. Like I wish I could be in the studio with you guys, catching your energy and having a back and forth conversation. But it seems like this remote thing is going to be catching on. It's going to be the new wave. So I assume it's going to be a lot more stuff like this. But, they'll figure out ways to dress it up and make it much cooler and, just keep people apart as much as possible until this is over. But, it may be a whole new world for a while.
You're right. Anything you want to say back to those guys back in the studio? Kenny, Shaq, Ernie?
Oh, man, they know I love them, man. I'm working hard out here. Can't wait to get back to the studio, but it's pretty cool. There goes your camera swinging by again.
Go to this camera.
But yeah.
Camera.
Yeah.
Look at your camera, Albie. Albie just want to be on screen. Amazing, amazing. John, before I'm gonna let you get out of here, you're working hard. I just want to say thank you so much for your time here and giving us a behind the scenes look at the black carpet. But I gotta give a big shout out to your boy Dave Baker. You know?
Yes. And I feel remiss for not even mentioning Dave Baker. That's the man.
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out because I don't know him yet, but obviously in all of your posts, it seems like you guys work together, and it seems like you guys are a tandem, and you show him love, he shows you love on the social media. So I had to turn around and make sure he was a part of my notes. Impactful he was with your social media that I had to show him love and see. And what is it working with Dave? What does Dave do? And obviously the dream team that makes these bits come out as amazing.
Well, usually when we have big events like All-Star or finals or anything like playoffs, we have full crews. We have arch guys. We have just a big production team whenever we're doing these shoots. Right now, it's just, when I first got here, it was just myself for 3 weeks. And then Dave, they sent him as like a one-man band type setup. So, he was able to come and just bring all his lights and all his gear. And it's just really good having him around, man, because he's got that eye like a movie eye. Mm-hmm. And it's been a dream working with him. Like we're doing stuff that takes a couple people to pull off, but we get there early, set up, make sure everything's in place, and we're just knocking it out one day at a time. So I love working with him. That's my guy.
Yeah, man. Albie, you got something for John before he gets out of here?
Yes, if you don't mind, can you tell us, because I know there's numerous different personalities, but do they all get along, or do they butt heads? Are they hanging out by the pool table? Like, what's going on?
Now they've kept us away from the players. So the hotel that we're all staying at, we're like at this big resort. They're keeping us separate. But when I first got here, like I said, I was here for like 3 weeks. And I feel like during that time I had unprecedented access. And they since shut all that access down. But when I first got here, there's a restaurant inside the hotel called the Ritz. And I'll go in there with Chris Haynes, the reporter, and we'll sit there and have a burger and eat and talk about the day and talk about all the shoots we'll do. And one time I walked into the restaurant and Giannis was sitting there getting takeout. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool seeing Giannis sitting at the bar, getting takeout, waiting on his food. I looked to the corner and LeBron sitting in the corner talking with one of his guys. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool seeing LeBron sitting in the corner, And Kawhi walks by with one of his guys, just walking by saying hello, gave us dap. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of like a elite AAU type campus vibe. Like, it's starting to feel like I'm starting to realize where I am. Like, this is where I'm going to be living with these guys for, until October. So it's definitely a cordial vibe. The hotel I'm at had all the top teams. So Lakers, Clippers, Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz. I'm not missing somebody. Toronto Raptors. So all the top teams stay here. And guys are always constantly walking with each other, usually walking in packs, like, their teammates walking together. And it's always cordial. Never seen any type incident. Everyone's kind of sitting, chilling. So it's definitely a cool vibe. I wish more people got a chance to see it and experience it. I've never seen anything like it. Just the fact that we all live together. Like Marcus Smart be walking around in his house robe and slippers. Because this is home, and I realized why. Like, this is our home. Like, you could act like it's not, but I've been here forever. So after a while, I'm walking around in my sandals too. Like, this is where I live. And everyone's, they got comfortable. They got a good lay of the land. And to answer your question, definitely, it's a good interaction amongst the guys, especially when their families got here too. You're seeing a lot of guys pushing strollers and, riding bikes. I see Dwight riding with his son a lot, riding bikes. And it's a cool vibe to see guys pushing strollers and with their ladies and stuff. It's really cool. It's really good look.
I know I think the one black eye that was on the bubble probably is Daniel House.
Yeah.
Situation. Can you speak on that and the challenge of these spoiled guys possibly not having that extracurricular activities they're used to from the outside, and obviously Daniel House being sent home because of that?
Yeah, man, that was an interesting situation. And again, I was close to it because Chris Haynes is one of the reporters who broke the story. Mm-hmm. And I'm around Chris Haynes all the time. So, he's doing his job. He's like, look, if it affects the game, I got to report on it. And, the league acted on it. The Rockets acted on it. So when everything came out. You know, mixed emotions because I'm here in the bubble. You know what I mean? So I understand what he's going through. You know, I got a Peloton. I ride twice a day. Yes, sir. But man, look, I can't. It's a tough situation he's in. They said he put people in danger because the person wasn't, you know, appropriately tested.
Right.
So on that serious note, that, you know, that wasn't maybe the best choice. But again, I can't judge the man, dude. I cannot judge him.
I know you can't judge. I know the NBA has their strict policy and there's reasons why, but I definitely understand.
Oh, I can't judge him because I'm a man.
Agree.
You know what I mean?
He was like, I'm above that Peloton, man. You know? Peloton, man.
Silly.
Things that you see running around that's just abnormal, that you figure that's like, yo, this is pretty dope, or this is weird.
Things I've seen. I mean, of course, it's Florida, so there's animals running around here. So you always see like animals running by. LeBron riding a bike, that's kind of cool. You know, you always seen him ride a bike, especially in Miami. I know he had a big, you know, bike campaign and stuff, but just to see it around here, because again, we don't have cars. No one is driving.
Okay.
Everywhere we go, it's on a bus schedule. Shuttles take us everywhere we go. So I haven't driven a car in like 3 months. So people's usually mode of transportation is bikes. Okay. So you're seeing all these athletes on bikes riding around. But yeah, nothing, I wouldn't say nothing super crazy to report. You know, it just.
Have you
say that again?
Have you tried Butler's homemade coffee in the morning?
No, I have not. But I've been at a couple of pressers when he's talking about it. I heard one of the assistant coaches is trying to knock him off, and they have their own version of it. That's it's $5 instead of $20.
Oh no!
Yeah, and it's like it's called Little Big Head, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Oh.
Amazing. I just want to say again, everybody, round of applause for Jonathan Scott for coming on the black carpet. You know, this is our first episode since quarantine, and we just want to say thank you for giving us a live look inside the bubble, literally live at work. Look at the sign right now, Black Lives Matter. My boy is there right now doing amazing work for Turner Broadcasting, and obviously we just got to say amazing job, Jonathan. Thank you so much for all your behind the scenes. Look at this footage. It's behind right here on the black carpet. Unprecedented. You won't get this anywhere else. Right here on the black carpet. Appreciate you. 305.
So,
let's go.
No problem. Happy to help y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's a whole new game, baby. All because of Jonathan, too, and because of your work. Make sure you check out all the bits that you see on Turner Sports. My man is behind the camera. He's the one that got the do's and the don'ts, so y'all remember where you seen it first, baby, right here on the black carpet. Jonathan Scott, thank you so much, brother.
All right, cuz. Pleasure, man. Pleasure. Take care. Bye. Take care.
All right, brother.
Yep.
Oh, and we got another special guest on the black carpet today. We've been trying to get this guy on our show. Quarantine messed a lot of things up, you know, but we are so happy to have on the black carpet Mr. Jason Jackson, the Heat host, the man, the myth, the legend for the Miami Heat organization. Every single broadcast, pre and post game. Mr. Jason Jackson, how are you doing, sir?
How in the world could I be anything other than fabulous? I mean, this has just been an awesome run. I don't want to sit here and act like, you know, like there's this feeling, there's two groups, right? You now have cocky Heat fan that has gone way too far. You're the guy that stops me on the street and goes, "Come on, we gotta play better." Like, we're 9-1 in the postseason. Like, one more is perfection. Like, just easy. And then there's the Heat fan that is probably way too thankful. You know, like, man, this is just so good that we got here. Praise the Lord. You know, no, now there's an in-between. Like, we're here, progress, keep winning, fight through adversity, as we saw in game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. If 48 minutes is insufficient to settle the issue, put 5 more on the clock. Let's go. And it's it's just been a beautiful run. It's hard because everybody wants you to compare immediately. Compare it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's let this be this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've probably been through, let's call it 5 different maturations in 16 years of the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular one is unlike any other one. I mean, top of the list, the greatest player in Heat history isn't here.
Nope.
He had been a part of all the other ones. Obviously, the insanity of July of 2010, bringing all those monsters together, right? That era has passed us. The return of Dwayne,
Mm-hmm.
young Dwayne, right? Like, so Udonis is our thread here, right? That weaves through it all. But now let's let this be what it's going to be. Be thankful, and it's absolutely righteous that we have gotten back into a spot where you have an opportunity to compete for a championship. A real, like, you're not just talking about it. You really are 3 wins away from competing for a championship. And here's the thing. Now let's go back to the very first thing I said.
Mm-hmm.
We all should have just listened to Jimmy. He said it when he showed up.
What you got for Jax?
So what are the keys for Miami winning? What are the things the Celtics do that the Heat need to keep in mind?
Al, I'm gonna blow that wig off. You ready?
Woo!
You ready? No, that's what I refer to hair. I don't have hair, so all hair is a wig to me.
I like.
How about we call it a salad? I'm gonna blow that salad off your lid. How about score more points? Like, here, let me tell you, what we've just witnessed a little bit out of the Toronto series, but Toronto's gone, so we don't have to be bothered with all that. And in game 1, that team is going to defend you from the bus. All right. The Celtics, I think, are way too underrated in the conversation. You look at the playoffs, the only team that's better than Miami in points per game against is that team in green that we're playing right now. The fact that we were able to scrape out a $117 with 5 extra minutes to do it shows that they are worthy to be praised. Put the ball in the basket, okay? Don't listen. I know the Miami Heat way. Been here long enough, and it's defense. I get it. That's the core, right? You got to get quality stops. But thanks to Bam and his very hingy left wrist for the greatest defensive moment of the postseason and definitely of that game. The defense ain't going anywhere, right? I mean, you got to be creative. You got to throw different things. Keep Kemba off balance. As we recognize with them, even in their peril, they still made big shots. That's why we had to go to an extra session. That's why I had to fight back and try to even the game at halftime. Be the team that has the variety of ways to score that we've become used to. And that's helpful as Duncan, admittedly, is going to have to figure out a way to stay on the floor. And that's guarding without fouling.
100. I think Duncan has made the scouting report on teams where he affects them so much, and him not being on the floor obviously affects our spacing a bit. So he does need to stay on the floor.
Listen, I apologize for interrupting. I wouldn't be surprised if he's above Jimmy on a scouting report.
I agree. I was watching
at the top of the list,
like,
right? If we take this out, this may throw things off. And then Tyler Hero said, "Sorry, you forgot about me."
Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead and try to take my boy out. But Hero has stepped up and into this space in a way that you shouldn't expect of a 20-year-old.
That was my next question, kind of saying the Miami Heat have this great nucleus of young guys and veterans. The Dragon, Heat talk.
Goran Dragic, yes, sir, I'm with you.
The Dragon is there, as Jimmy was saying, was telling everybody where to be. And then you have young guy like Hero just hitting 2 big shots down the stretch. He got cojones of steel, like, as they say down in the 305. You know,
I love it.
And he just loves the moment. What do you see in this balance of veterans and young guys that's made this Heat team so great?
Trust. Trust that you can look at an old head and go, yeah, that was for you back in your day, or you can take it in. You can be an old head and say, you don't know anything and you have to prove it to me, or you can trust that this kid is a talent, a skill set that, and we have, 6 of them. Think about it. When you run down the list, Tyler obviously is playing out of his mind. Kendrick, you've got Gabe and Kyle from our two-way players, as well as KZ. And so, and the funny thing is that Bam and Duncan and DJ still get kind of clumped into that group. So it's pretty astonishing when you really sit back and think about all these young guys that are so critical, impacting either as a part of the rotation, right? Or in Duncan's case, starting lineup, or the guys who are the hammer and the anvil for the guys who are on the front line. Do not forget how important it is to whoop somebody's ass in practice so they're ready for what's coming in the game, right? Those guys that we don't see on the floor each night, Myers, Udonis, I told you about the younger guys, they're the ones who have to play Kemba and Jalen and Jason in practice. Those are the cats that are grinding and creating readiness for Miami's top 8, 9, 10. That's the connectivity of veteran work and young play. No jealousy, trust, sharing experiences, and when I need you, here's the rock. Do something with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how are you though? After 17 years working with the Heat, and now you're from the arena where you have no fans, no teams. How is that for you?
I would correct you usually because this is my 16th season, but on a regular calendar,
It would be
Althea,
17.
I would have begun my 17th season coming up, which I'm glad because there's another pay scale when we hit the 2021 season. But we're still on 1920 financially and also with seniority. Al, thank you for asking. No one cares, and so I'm glad that you act like you do.
I care.
No, yeah, you do, but I'm saying I work from the premise that no one cares, and it helps me do my job with a fake enthusiasm that's necessary sometimes. Right now, I'm being fueled by reality. Right now, this is real love and joy that's coming. I'm just thankful. Now, to answer your question, I'm thankful that I work for an organization that was committed to our standard coverage, both with the mini preseason, the seeding games, and now the playoffs. We're still, like we've had for a decade, still providing pregame and postgame coverage, pregame digitally, postgame digitally, and over with our partners at Fox. That's not everybody's reality in these 22 teams that were able to come back. And let's keep thinking about those 8 teams that weren't invited. I mean, they made their own bed with all them losses, but they still would have preferred to have been in this mix and all the people that come with that. I'm going to take this opportunity for all the Heat fans that are listening to thank you for your commitment, for your presence. We have hit over 95% of our season ticket allotment for next season. Sold. We're going to hit 100% because Heat Nation believes that if we're going to get back in these arenas, who's going to be ready? Who's going to be ready?
Oh, the Heat.
The Miami Heat. Yeah, we're going to get you back in that building as soon as it's safe, as soon as it's legal, as long as we can keep people from getting sick and contracting this ridiculously devastating virus. As we talk now, nearly 200,000 people gone in connection one way or another with this pandemic. And the fact that people still struggle with recognizing it's still occurring is heartbreaking. Like I used to get mad. Now I'm just sad.
I was sad.
But we've done a great job at the arena along with our partners, Miami-Dade County. Remember, it is their building. We just run it really well for them. And just making sure that everybody's safe, all of our people behind the scenes. Let's give credit to AJ Speaks and Bob Hewitt and Edward Ballard, the guys that run our department. They took a control room that is supposed to provide you entertainment in game and made it a production truck. And for those people that know, those are 80-foot, 18-wheeler joints that they work out of regularly. And now they're up in the roof of American Airlines Arena, making sure that folks are prepared for every game with Heat TV on Heat.com and Heat Live presented by, fueled by Duncan, post-game on Fox. That stuff couldn't have happened without those men.
Jax, I just have to say, man, I can't wait till we get back to the arena. I'm one of the DJs that while you were out there on the, I'm the one that they because you have a show going on. So
Xfinity East Plaza, stand up. Yes.
I'm one of the DJs that's out there sometimes warming up the crowd. So, and you're over my left, and I can see you doing your thing, and the family that comes together, and it just feels great. And I can't wait till we get back to the arena and broadcasting. I had a question outside of basketball into the broadcasting world. This is something that intrigued me. Taylor, and I just wanted you to talk about her. The host of NBA Countdown. Obviously, she just had her debut on Monday Night Football, and she did such an amazing job. I think she's full of grace, youth, and just what it is the future is going to be in terms of broadcasting. And of course, she had to deal with some backlash from some older statesmen in the game, and
fired elder statesmen, by the way. Yes.
As a broadcaster, you've been in the game. Obviously, you've been with the Miami Heat for on to 17.
Going on to 17 years.
You've been in the game a long time. Obviously, coming down to Miami, and you've seen a lot. And obviously, with this new generation of broadcasters coming in, how do you feel about not only what Maria Taylor and the Maria Taylors of the world are doing and going through, and obviously from you, what is your advice to those coming up that may have to deal with some of that vitriol and backlash?
That part, I'm going to answer your second question first because that's the easiest part. Realize what you've decided to do. You've decided to come into a profession in which every single day you will be assessed. Your friends and colleagues that studied accounting or in sales or teachers or law enforcement or firefighter, those assessments happen maybe once a quarter, sometimes once a year. Every day and night you decide to go out and broadcast, you're performing. Mm-hmm. And the assessment of your performance is real time. Now more than ever, it's real time, and you can hear every voice. If that troubles you, pick something else. This is the deal. We are out here for people's infotainment, and it's important for all of us to have a understanding that we're not for everybody. But be prepared. Be as I tell people all the time, some people like steak, some people like fish. Be surf and turf. Give them a little bit of everything they like. So if you're beautiful, be beautiful. If you're smart, be smart. If you're blessed to have it all, let us have it. You want to put on some black leather, you better. You know what I mean? Like, be who you are and don't worry about stuff that doesn't matter. An old white cat in Chicago trying to comment on the parallels of a young black woman on the sidelines in New York. In the end, for Maria, it doesn't matter.
Right.
For that dude who's now on the street again, that's just a reflection of who he is, and he has to deal with the ramifications of that. And what we have to continue to recognize is where our allies lie, right? Continue to build that space. And those who want to act like enemies, you treat them like that.
Spoken like a veteran, has been in the game for a long time. Jason Jackson. I love it. I love it. I love it. Abby, what you got for Jason next?
Well, we don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're probably going golfing.
I am working late. Unless Thursdays and Fridays, you might find me with a tee in the ground, but it is hardcore work. That's the one thing people don't realize before you get to your question is off days, which is we're recording this on the off day in between game 1 and game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Those are work days. We got double Zooms, one for each team with 6 different interview subjects combined. Plus we're production back channels working with our company, the Sports Radar, that's our research company, trying to produce these 1 hour pre and post game shows. As I say all the time, they don't produce themselves. So there's a lot of work and collaboration that goes into it. So while, yes, Al, when I do hit my off season, I will wear out my back. I will wear out my gluteus maximus, my wondrous quads and hammies on the fairways and greens of South Florida. But today, madam, is not one of those days. So your question, I apologize.
Before we let you go, I just wanted you to explain a little bit about your foundation. I know it's put on hold kind of with the pandemic, but
Yeah.
do you see yourself having an event soon? Like, what's going on?
So we got lucky, actually. We were able to have our biannual roast. Jack's Celebrity Roast is every other year on odd years. So we got very fortunate. 2020 is quite odd and irregular, but it is an even year. So our next roast isn't for another year and a month. So we're right here. And Jack's Celebrity Roast is our signature event where we find a luminary in South Florida so far. It's been Dwayne Wade and Jason Taylor and DJ Reed are the first three people over the last 6 years that we've roasted, benefiting their beautiful work. Those three men have done amazing things in our space in South Florida and beyond. And then Santa Jack stuff for Christmas. That's a much more micro, hands-on impact. We'll figure out a way in December to make sure that we're impacting the young people we do, which is primarily folks who have aged out of foster care and end up with no place to go. Young people don't sometimes find their forever family, but time keeps on marching. And when they age out of foster care, too many of them find the street. And so there's awesome organizations like Casa Valentina that we've partnered with since 2016 that see to the next step for kids 18 through 24 who need to decide, is it going to be a career, is it going to be the military, is it going to be school, but using those 6 years, not on the street, but in a loving, growing educational environment to get your financial literacy together, to get your ready for work mentality and approach ready, while having a bed to sleep in and food to eat.
Love it, love it. And I love the fact that you work for an organization that thinks about the people. You're obviously has your foundation and your
Jack's Fam Foundation. We never even said the word. Jack's Fam Foundation. There we go. My bad.
Jack's Fam Foundation.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much for all the great work that you do in the community, and obviously you're one of our favorite local celebrities. If you want to,
I'll take it. It gets me a lot of good free drinks. Let's get it. Come on.
On a lighter note, it was Jimmy Butler's birthday this past weekend, and Jimmy Butler fashion, of course, he had the rookies do what? Sing happy birthday to him. I thought that was amazing. What do you think about Jimmy Butler having it, and with the eye contact?
Eye contact and 5-part harmony. That was what was critical. Most guys don't have that many first-year players on their roster, so to have two guys from the draft, another guy that was signed before he even showed up, and then two guys that are on two-way contracts, man. 5 dudes?
Fire! He pretty much has fire. Yeah, he pretty much.
Quartet, at the least, right?
That's fine. And the last thing, Jackson's the DJ. I want to know what's on your MP3s. What are you jamming to? What keeps you going?
I'm a love song guy.
You love?
I'm a R&B love song guy. So her runs really hard right now.
Okay.
In my mix. The other day I brought back MJ.
Okay.
King of Pop. I brought MJ back in the middle of a golf round. I was playing. Man, curse. Is that okay on this platform?
Yeah, of course.
Bleep it out if you have to. I was playing like shit. All right. There's no other way to say I was playing poorly or bad. It's not. No, it was shit. And I apologize to the Lord for speaking in such a fashion. However, I couldn't think of a better word to describe. I put on MJ on the 9th hole because I wanted to turn it all around. All off the wall. First thing off the jump. It was so good, man. People forget how creepy and eerie the beginning of Off the Wall is. It was like a preamble to Thriller.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And then we came around to the 18th hole, which I really needed. Like, I needed to feel good on top of trying to get into the money. And boom, 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 Jack's par. It was beautiful. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Yeah.
Remix and got you to win. So no WAP. So no WAP for Jax. No.
Oh man, I try to keep all the WAPs private. That's private.
I had to ask.
Yeah, no, why not? Why not? I'm only 48. It's not like I don't know what the young rap starlets are doing.
How about Knight and Patti LaBelle versus. I don't know if you caught that. Was that a
Did I catch it? Did I catch it? I got infected by it. That's what I caught it all. I caught the whole thing. And then when Dionne Warwick walked out, are you kidding me?
Oh
That
man.
woman's going to be 80 in December. All of them need my phone number. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
They all need
All
your
of
phone
them.
number.
They all need a cocktail of jacks. Yes, they do.
Jack, you're from the Midwest, so I know there's a lot of soul.
Yeah.
So I had to ask if you got that vibe.
So good.
This
So
past.
good. Thank you, Tim. Listen, Timberland and Swiss putting that together. First of all, theirs is hilarious. You should watch their verses if you haven't. But what a wonderful concept, because while it may be a bit of a battle, it's really just a celebration. It's just a celebration of many different genres, and it tells you back when they called it race music, when they called it black music, it was not one music. So many black artists at the time were laying down the tracks for what was going to be rock and roll through blues and then jazz, obviously America's first music. So much a part of the Afro-Caribbean sound that was coming out of the South, particularly Louisiana. Don't get me started now. This is my business now. I don't play with music. That's my stuff. But it was great to see that those guys who are contemporary but superstar producer and performers allowing for our real R&B singers, Brandy and Monica, for big old school rap stars like DMX and hold on, y'all, and Snoop. Well, let's get back in. People trying to bug me in the middle of my preaching.
I know.
And then get to Patty and Gladys with a little Dion. Man, don't stop. I said at the end of the show, I did this, man. I said, well, what if we were just blessed for a second? If we just got blessed for a minute, right? I got to go pick up this other call, y'all. Somebody trying to get me for another thing. And we just had Prince and MJ do that one, boy. Wouldn't that be nuts?
Who alive? You have anybody that you would like to see?
Going up against each other, not against each other, but let's go Boys to Men and New Edition.
Yes.
I like that.
Side by side.
I like it.
All right, let me run out of here before I get run up out of
Thank you,
here.
Jason.
All right.
We appreciate you, brother.
Love you guys. Later.
Love you.